recorded live.
Hello, it's Joe Talentino with CamdenHappenings.com. Today I've got Barbara Ryan, co-chair of the Coastal Georgia Film Alliance with us. How are you doing, Barbara?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day in St. Mary's, Georgia.
Well, listen, let's get straight into it. Tell me a little bit about Coastal Georgia Film Alliance, how it got started and why it got started.
I'd love to do that. I came to St. Mary's in 2004, and from the day I entered the town, I always looked at St. Mary's as, a palette for a movie. I mean, to me, it was, I go down to the waterfront and I go, wow, this could have been Forrest Gump. And at every turn, to me, is this kind of cinematic palette just begging to be written. But I got busy with other things, and fast forward to the economy drop in the last, I'd say, year. And, just things are just so tough for everybody. I was racking my brain, and Doug Vaught, someone else who's a real activist in the community, he's done lots for the community, he and I got together, and we said, what can we do? People are losing their jobs, they're losing their houses. And so we were trying to come up with ideas for economic development for St. Mary's. And so we started talking about this movie idea, and we said, why not? Why not? I mean, this is a great place to make films. And that, of course, was enhanced by the fact that Georgia is, one of the most attractive states in the country for film incentives for filmmakers. So Doug and I got together, we pulled a few other kind of visionary people on our board, and we formed the Coastal Georgia Film Alliance. And its mission is to get filmmaking done in not only St. Mary's but Coastal Georgia, ergo the name Coastal Georgia. So that's how it got started. Totally funded by an ad hoc group of people like ourselves, that we're not part of any kind of government or any authority. We're reaching into our own pockets because, we believe in St. Mary's.
Cool. Well, have you guys gotten any progress since you started? Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm so glad you asked, because when we first set to work, we said, let's give ourselves a year. We figure it'll take a year to make some contacts. Within the first 3 months, we had a project, and we're incredibly excited about it. The working title of the movie is Eye of the Hurricane. The producer will be in town actually September 3rd to start laying the groundwork. They have in this movie, and it's sort of like, if you remember the Stand By Me movie, it's kind of a feel-good movie told through the eyes of a 9-year-old boy. The setting in St. Mary's is perfect. In fact, when they came to town, they went back and rewrote the script so that they could showcase more of the beauty of the town.
Cool.
But it has 4 A stars. Campbell Scott, who is the son of course, George C. Scott, is the star. And we have Jose Zuniga, who starred in many CSI series, Mission Impossible. We have the lady who just played the sister to George Clooney in Up in the Air. She's on there. And then the 4th A star is Rose from Lost. The series on television called Lost. Rose will be one of the stars as well. So we have 4 named stars coming to town, and we're all excited about that. Means a lot of economic, adding to the what we have here now is, with their hiring people, they're hiring, they'll be hiring talent, they'll be eating in the restaurants, they'll be using carpentry services, that kind of thing.
Sure. Well, so it sounds like there's already progress, and that's cool. What can we expect for the future? You guys got some other projects in the works?
Well, that's just one of 3. We actually had a film, I know, actually 4. We had a film done here last year called Resurrection Ferns. It was filmed in downtown St. Mary's and Cumberland Island, also in St. Augustine, and it's scheduled to be released in 2011. So that's a project that's completed. And then we have 2 TV pilots. One has already been completed and is now being shot in Hollywood, and it's about the Coast Guard Auxiliary. And then the current one that's just about to be filmed in the next 30 days is called Mr. Bags. And it's a wonderful TV series. Sort of think of it as like kind of the Waltons of the, of this period. And it's a value. It's a show that the whole family can sit down and watch. And it's just, it's going to once again showcase St. Mary's and the surrounding area. And I know you'll get to this question, but you want to go. You're probably going to ask us, how do we get these kinds of projects? And that's what I want to talk to you about as well.
Well, sure. Why don't we just ask that question, man?
Well, well, first of all, when we came up with the concept of the Film Alliance, we sort of work on the premise that if you build it, they will come. So we built this fabulous website. And then we made connections with the state of Georgia, their economic development department. They started sending people our way. Well, once they send someone our way, they say coming to St. Mary's is like quicksand. You really never get out. Once we get them in our clutches, they can't leave, because they come here and they say, I know this is going to be impossible, but we need these 50 locations. We need this, we need that. And by the way, we need a mule or whatever. And we just get whatever they want. And they can't believe it. And it doesn't, we're doing this on a volunteer basis. They can't believe that we're able to, deliver all this. But we work hard, because I think at this point, once we get 4 or 5 projects under our belt, I think at some point in the future, we may be able to escalate our efforts. And right now, filmmakers can come here, and the Alliance provides them an office. They provide them a boardroom. And then the location scouting is all done, pro bono at this point. So that's how we get them here, because once they come to St. Mary's, they go, why go anywhere else? And once again, that 30% tax incentive that the state of Georgia offers certainly is an added attraction. I can't in any way underplay the value of that.
Yeah, as a filmmaker myself, I can tell you that's been one of the reasons why I've looked to stay in Georgia when we do stuff. It's an incredible incentive for sure, and it's actually something that's relatively new too. So that's cool.
It is, and in just a few weeks ago at the box office, Georgia had more production going on at the box office as far as new release than any other state. Of all these new releases being filmed in Georgia. People don't realize that. I mean, since this new legislation came about where they offer this incentive, they've filmed more than 200. They've had more than 200 film projects in the state. And this is just, a couple years ago. It hasn't been around that long. So, we're really competitive. I think the only state that offers a better deal than us is Michigan. And, I mean, who wants to film in Michigan in February? Think about it.
Exactly. Well, listen, with all that having been said, I want to talk a little bit about the film gala, the Hollywood Nights Gala. Tell me about that, what it's about, and why you guys are doing that.
Well, Hollywood will be coming to St. Mary's in more ways than one, not just the filming, but the event that we have planned, which is November 13th. It's to benefit the St. Mary's Film Museum. Now, the St. Mary's Film Museum is a project of the Film Alliance, and the reason we started this, we have this very generous man in town, Joe Lucent, who actually donates space to the Film Alliance. And it was such a wonderful space, we really didn't need it all for administrative offices, so we said, let's build a museum. And it's not open to the public quite yet, but we have some very interesting things in it. We have original scripts, and we have, a TV microphones from the 20s. We had just last week, Mark Harmon sent us some NCIS props. But here's we would really like to buy some really museum-worthy things. For example, the suit of armor that Russell Crowe wore in one of his epic movies. That's the kind of thing we want to buy. Well, that takes money. Right now we're just looking at donated items and loaned items. It takes money to purchase those kinds of things. And that's the reason for the gala, is to raise funds to purchase props and display items for the museum.
Cool. Well, tell us a little bit about what people can expect on that night if they were to go down and purchase those tickets, which I know everybody who listens to this is going to do.
And they better hurry up, because we're already 50% sold out, and we haven't even designed the invitation, and it's 3 months away. But here's what they can expect that night. First of all, they need to come in their tuxedo or their glitziest outfit, and they will be met on the red carpet by someone who will, very glamorous, someone who will be playing a role like Joan Rivers, but she'll be much more beautiful than Joan Rivers. Also, Rhett Butler will be there on the red carpet greeting them. The paparazzi will be everywhere. Of course, their car will be parked by the valet parkers. So they get on the red carpet, they make their incredible entrance, and then when they walk into the building, they're just transported into this fantasy land of Hollywood. I'll tell you the venue that we're going to be doing it at, and it will be the first event at this venue. It's a new place in St. Mary's called the Southern Junction. Al and Mary Chapman are developing it into a banquet facility, which we so terribly need here. And we have just this amazingly creative and talented committee putting together the whole atmosphere of Hollywood that night. So, you know, from the moment you arrive on the red carpet, once you enter the building, to the entertainment, the dinner, everything will be all about Hollywood. And where our major fundraising will come in, because we don't really expect to make money off the meal or the dancing, is the auction. And if you'd like, I can tell you some of the things that are going to be auctioned off, because it's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, I was going to get to that, but you are a step ahead of me once again.
Okay. I'm trying to make your job easy, Joe.
Well, I love it.
Okay. All the packages, auction packages, there won't be a lot. They're because they're very high-end packages. They're all themed with a certain, Hollywood movie theme. For example, there's a package called A Star Is Born. In that package is a limousine ride, of course, your hair and your makeup, and this beautiful piece of bling jewelry, a photo session that's worth about $1,500, a role in the TV pilot, an actual acting role, an article, in the local magazine, your own star hanging on the wall in the museum with your name on it. These are the kind of things that are in that package. We have Steve Barry, as you know, is best-selling, a New York Times bestseller, and he is donating, naming a character after someone. So you can actually be in your name in a book that's coming up, in one of his upcoming books. We have something that's interesting that I think his history buffs will love, and it's called the Man Without a Country package. And the Man Without a Country was about Aaron Burr. And as many people know, especially the history buffs, Aaron Burr, when he shot Alexander Hamilton in the duel, he escaped and came to St. Mary's and stayed at the Clark House with Archibald Clark. So the Man Without a Country consists of dinner for 8 at the Clark House. And
cool.
And people are going to love this because, of course, you have to have a butler, because in those days they did have a butler. So our former state representative, Charlie Smith, will be the butler for the evening. So that will be quite an elegant auction item that I know people are going to be vying for as well.
Well, he does want to serve the people, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He goes to all lengths. And just, quickly, we have a Where the Boys Are package that is a whole Fort Lauderdale getaway. We have a Field of Dreams package, which has tickets to the Braves and Jags and golf rounds and all that. A Gone with the Wind package, of course, we have one of those. And we have something called Lust for Life, and that was a movie with Kirk Douglas where he played Vincent Van Gogh, and it's all about the arts. So we're going to have quite a few items donated by local and actually national artists as well, and Jacksonville Symphony tickets and that kind of thing. So that's cool. Just a small example of what we've got, and it will be a fun night. And we've got some surprise guests there, some surprise celebrity guests to entertain us. So we hope everybody will come out and join the fun, or at least 200 people. We only have 200 tickets to sell. So.
Well, it sounds like there won't be a problem selling those, and if you're listening to this, you probably want to go and get yours quickly, because it sounds like they're going to be out soon.
Yeah, and I invite people to go to the website, coastalgeorgiafilm.org, and you go there and you can see all about the Coastal Georgia Film Alliance, all about the museum, and click on Contact Us and just say, hey, we want to reserve some tickets.
Very cool. And I'll make sure that we keep updates on everything on CamdenHappenings.com as well. And
appreciate that. We sure appreciate your support of the community.
Barbara, I appreciate you being with us here today, and I look forward to talking to you about other things that you guys are doing in the future.
It's always my great pleasure, Joe, anytime. Come back to see us.